It's still Prime Morning. We're going to be taking our next conversation, which is Money Making Monday. And this morning, we're taking a look at the situation of the floods, those who are affected, and how they are trying to pull the pieces together to ensure that they are able to stand on their feet again. I'm not too sure about where you are, where it was flooded, which business you were doing, and how you're, recovering from that disaster. We saw, just normal kiosk who had people, doing business in there, and they all also collapsed one way or the other at many places. Some people's shops were even burnt and all of that. There were fire outbreaks and all that. And so we want to find out how these people are recovering from that flood situation. This one we'll be talking to Insurers to also find out what exactly they've been able to do to ensure that those who are also affected are also getting some compensation, and that's going to be for Money Making Monday this morning here on the show. So yes, that's our conversation. You can also share your thought with us. We're streaming live on Facebook. We've got also our WhatsApp line active. You can also join us over there and share your thought with us as well, and let us know what you think about moment of recovery as far as the flood is concerned. All right. So yes, get interactive with us here on the show. Like I said, we are streaming live on Facebook. Our WhatsApp line is also active. If you were affected, or if you know somebody who was affected and they are recovering, you can also share their story with us and let us know how they're also keeping up with, regards to the flood and the havoc that is caused many businesses out there. The president of GUTA, Clement Boateng, will be joining us this morning. If he's already on, let me check if he's on and we can have a conversation with him. Good morning, Clement, if you can hear me.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, great. I can hear you. Thanks a lot for joining us. Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks for joining us this morning here on the show.
Okay.
Great. Have you heard from your people, your members, the days after the disaster, the floods? How are they all coping?
Yeah. Good morning once again, your cherished viewers, and thank you for having me. Yes. So, like you rightly said, I think it was a week today that we have that devastating flood, which caused a lot of havoc to the people of Accra. And as you are aware, the business areas were not isolated. Luckily, if you talk about areas like Makola, Kantamanso, Okaisi, Opera Square areas, even though the floods were there, but it didn't affect most of our members. But where we had the floods heavily affecting our members had to do with areas around Anishi and then Abosokai. Those areas, most of the shops were flooded, and when people came to their shop on Monday, it was not easy for them at all. So we did what we could do, try to, get the debris out and cleaned the place for business to continue. So we were lucky, to have our president coming out with that money from the contingency fund to at least cushion those who were affected by the flood. But we were thinking it was going to be in the form of money. So I told my people to do the compilation of those that have been affected, so that we could forward it to the sub-metro NADMO office because it was the NADMO who are supposed to do the disbursement.
Yeah.
Yes. People started writing their name, and after some time, I had to get in touch with the municipal chief executive at Central Sub-Metro. But unfortunately, I was told that, the mitigation factor was not supposed to be in monetary term, but rather it was some food items which were going to be, supplied to those affected. Apparently,
so
he told me.
So the 300, and you're talking about the 200 million and then the 150 million, which are both supposed to go to mitigation and also to the victims. So basically, it's not that they are giving you the monies, but they're giving you items. They are buying items and then distributing the items to you. That's the understanding you got.
That is the understanding I got. See,
I see.
Because we were thinking it was going to be in monetary terms.
Yeah.
Yes. But when I got in touch with the municipal chief executive, that was my understanding that it wasn't going to be money, but rather food items, and they had even already started the distribution to the residents.
So it didn't come through you, the organization's head. It didn't come through you, so you do even the distribution. They already contacted the people. These are the people you made them write names.
Yes, because according to him, those presidents, had already submitted their names. So therefore, they had, started doing the distribution to them. So when he told me that it was going to be in terms of food, then to be frank, I told him that if that is the case, then we think it is not necessary for us. Because what is the point going to collect a bag of rice and a bottle of oil? We think that one wouldn't sell.
It's not enough. It's not enough compensation for your members.
Yes. Because as for a bag of rice and then oil, people can buy it. They can buy it for themselves. So everything they should share it to the residents. You see, but one thing that I was glad about it had to do with the president of Ghana Bankers Association, saying that they are going to reschedule payment for the business people who are going in for facility.
Okay.
And I think that is good.
Because there are those who have gone for some very, major loans that they were using to turn around their businesses and all.
Yes, because in one of my conversations with some of your sister stations, I made that appeal.
Okay.
That that banks, to try as much as possible to reschedule loans to the business people who are, coming for loans. Because during COVID time, we made that appeal, and then they heeded to it.
Okay.
And then our loans were rescheduled. So this time around, I also made that appeal again, and I'm very glad that they have heeded, to our call. So I have advised my members to go to their respective bank and then, see them for them to reschedule their payment of facilities. So I think that is a well-deserved situation which we would like to commend the Ghana Bankers Association.
Mr. Clement, usually when disasters like these happen, these are people we oversee. You know how they go through that process. Usually, how is the recovery period like? How is it? It takes how long? And if it does take a longer time, how do they cope and all of that?
I can say, as of now, people are still counting their losses. It is not easy.
Yeah.
And fine. Because when you talk about spare parts, most of the spare parts, is being made by metal. Some too are made by things that if water gets into it, you cannot do anything with it. That means you have to throw them away.
Yeah.
But those that are made by metal, you can clean it nicely, and then even though the packages in them, that is the boxes in them, for them you cannot do anything with it because the water has destroyed them. So those that are in that condition, you can still clean them and then sell them. But those that you cannot do anything like filters, air cleaner elements, and those things, you have to throw them away. So it will take maybe even if you will gloss over it, at least for 1 month, you'll be thinking about it until maybe after 1 month you decide to forget about it, because after all, there's nothing that you can do. Once you have life, that is the most important thing, and then business can continue.
Unfortunately, this cycle continues almost every time or every period that we have maybe the rains or disasters happening and all that. You've been in charge of these people and you see what they go through all the time. Sometimes don't they get tired of experiencing this over the period and still knowing that they will still go and look for another loan, invest into the business, and then they wake up one day and it's either flood or fire taking everything away from them?
Yes, you see, this situation that we find ourselves, has been perennial, and almost every year we experience this situation, and it's failure on the part of authority, especially this land Persia and something authority, which used to be town and country planning. They are responsible for all these things. They manage where people, settle. If somebody is putting up a structure, they go there for permit, to be given to the person before he or she, put up the house. But at the end of it all, what do we see? They don't do their duties very well. What is expected of them? They don't do it. And so every now and then, we will experience this situation. And that is the reason why I am very glad that the president has called in the armed forces, to take charge of this flood management that we are yet to embark upon, so that we deal with this situation once and for all. If we are going to embark on a demolition exercise, irrespective of whoever is the owner of that house, which is built in a waterway, that building must be demolished, so that we will have access to this water whenever it rains, for the water to flow freely. I would also like to call on the team that has been set up to also liaise with the Ghana Institute of Engineers, because we also have come out with a 19-point position statement that they think if government embark on that statement, it will also bring an end to this perennial flooding that we have been experiencing. So there should be joint, collaboration between Ghana Institute of Engineers and then this disaster management that has been set up and which is going to be taken in charge by the armed forces, to collaborate and then deal with this situation once and for all, so that next year, 2027, we will not find ourselves in this situation anymore.
In terms of that exercise, I am not too sure if you've been able to monitor your members and where they also have their businesses situated. If there are places where they also find themselves, in the demolition exercise, are they going to comply? Because most market people also put businesses or kiosks and all those things are places where they are not supposed to. And in fact, some of them even throw their rubbish in terms of their business, depending on what business the person is doing, at certain places that makes it very irresponsible. If there's going to be a demolition exercise, are your members going to comply with that?
Definitely they have to comply, because we don't have any option. This is a national situation, a national disaster that we all find ourselves in. So if there are measures that is going to be put up to deal with this situation once and for all, irrespective of whoever you are, wherever you find your business, once it is in the waterways and it is obstructing the free flow of the water, it must be demolished. And I'm going to embark on an education to my members to make sure that if you know that you have your kiosk, you have your container, if you have your building in a waterway, please advise yourself before the task force gets there. If they get there and you demolish your kiosk or your container, you come and tell me I wouldn't have anything to do, because it's an exercise that is going to be done to make sure that we don't experience this flood anymore. Look at the number of people that died. Look at the number of cars that were submerged. People's business, people have lost their business entirely as a result of this problem. And some of this problem come from us. It comes from us. Our attitude is not the best. We don't have to blame the authorities alone. We also have to blame our own self. Because you see that it will be raining, then somebody will come and dump refuse, forgetting that the refuse that he or she have dumped into the gutter, it is going to block somewhere, and that the water cannot flow freely. And you cannot block water. Once it doesn't get to the place that is supposed to flow, it will meander its way to any way that it thinks it will go, and at the end of it all, it will suffer. So irrespective of whoever container, whoever shop is at any place, when the demolition starts, my brother, it should go.
Very well. Like they say, water has no enemy, and it's always going to find its way, whatever it takes. And it's the reason we all have to be very careful about this. We're sorry that many people have to go through what they're going through. The recovering process is always very difficult. But then again, there's a national, conversation that we need to have when it comes to this flood situation and make a better solution for all of us all. But hold on. I'll come back to you again. Let me speak to the MD of Bedrock Insurance, Chairman of Public Education Committee, Ghana Insurers Association, and also find out from him a few things about insurance and what they are doing with regards to this. If you can hear me, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're good, Mr. Ernest Frimpong. I hope you're good.
By God's grace, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. And thanks for making time for us this morning here on the show.
You're welcome. A very good morning to you and your cherished.
Great. During in fact, the day after the flood, I went to some of the places, especially Alajo, and I was speaking to some of the people over there. They are mechanics, and they've gotten people's car they are fixing. Unfortunately, all those cars have been submerged. In fact, those that were able to withstand the flood are just sitting there, not knowing whether it's going to start today or tomorrow. They are not even too sure the condition of the engines and all of that. And I was asking them, have they spoken to the owners of the cars? Have they told them the insurance that the cars have? Are they sure that eventually they are going to be able to redeem whatever insurance they have done for the car to be able to service it and all of that? And they were clueless. In fact, some of them do not have any idea how those questions that I was asking were going to be answered. In situations like these, what is the position of insurance? And in fact, you are the head of the association, basically. Where do we stand now?
A very good morning to to my president, that's the Ghana Insurance Association, Mrs. Watson Blackwood, the MD of Star Insurance Limited. Yes, coming to the question you asked, when you take your car to the garage or the mechanic shop, the garage or the mechanic shop is supposed to have insurance to take care of the vehicle that you have sent there for repairs or maintenance. So it's even part of the compulsory insurances that are supposed to be done when you look at the public liability, the form of a compulsory insurance in Ghana. So if you take your vehicle to the workshop or the mechanic workshop or garage, you need to insist and ensure that they have insurance to protect the vehicle that you have sent there. Because the normal motor insurance policy excludes any damage to the vehicle or any loss to the vehicle whilst you have sent the vehicle to the mechanic shop. So basically, normally insurance companies may want to be sympathetic in situations like this and may don't want to be too technical and may waive that exclusions. But under normal circumstances, they are supposed to have insurance cover all the vehicles that have been sent them for repairs, maintenance.
Is this something that is, for want of better expression, public knowledge to many of these people that we're talking about, it, especially mechanics? Because I doubt if any mechanic or most of the mechanics actually have an idea that they need to insure cars that are brought to them for maintenance.
Yes, I think some of them are not aware. That's why the Ghana Insurance Association, working in collaboration with the National Insurance Commission, that's the Dr. Akbar Zakaria, and then the Insurance Brokers Association as well, by its president, Stephen Patton. We are working to ensure that we educate the public on the need to do some of these insurances, which is compulsory. We have a lot of compulsory insurances. It's not being taken by those that are supposed to take to help them. So we are putting together a comprehensive program to be able to educate everyone. But some education is ongoing, and we believe that some people are aware. And I think the will to do it is also something else. Because normally when people are doing insurance, they think that they are throwing their money away. Because when they do insurance, there's no claim. They think they are throwing their money away. So that sort of willingness to do insurance is what we also need to inculcate in our citizens, to be able to understand the value of insurance and the fact that you need to do insurance to protect yourself, protect the things that your customers bring to your premises. So this is something we are doing.
Okay. Speaking about that, I also want to find out from the insurance point of view. I mean, over 500 million, we understand, the reports coming indicate that over 500 million Ghana cedis will be payment that insurers are supposed to be looking at giving to people who have been affected with regards to the floods. From what you said, are your people able to do all of these? In fact, I'm not sure that anybody was praying that situations like this will happen, so that they have to sort out people in this magnitude. But do we have the shock absorbers to be able to ensure that many people who have insurance with us, are able to get the support they need?
Yes, the insurance company or the insurance industry, we're very, very resilient. Have the resources to be able to cover all the claims that will be coming to us. This is why the insurance industry in Ghana, we are working with what we call the no premium, no cover. So you are supposed to pay your insurance premium before you go on cover. In the past, it used to be the case because a lot of premiums were in debt because insurance was sold on credit. And now that's not the case, so which allows insurance companies to have liquidity to be able to pay all the claims that will come up. Now, what you have to be aware is that the insurance companies, whatever risks that they take, they have their own capacity and retention. Anything that is beyond that, they also reinsure. So we have insurance companies who are very solid in Ghana here, and some also insure, some with insurance companies outside the country. So in situations like this, the companies will pay what they have accepted to themselves in terms of retention, and the reinsurance companies will also come and pay. So we have a solid arrangement in place to cover such situations, or situations like this where we have a disaster, we need to cover a lot of money. Because if you look at the June 3rd incident 2015, the insurance companies, we paid over 330 billion in terms of compensation, with majority of it going to non-motor and also some going to motor insurance. So we will have the capacity to be able to address all the challenges or the claims that will come. What we would advise is that as we are reaching out to our clients, for them to, for us to know where they are and to assist them to be able to make claims quickly and be able to pay, because all things being equal, when they submit all the documents to us, in 4 weeks, we are supposed to pay the claim. So we are urging all those that have been affected to file the claims or to notify the insurance companies as quickly as possible, so that the insurance companies may come in and assist them, provide all the documentary evidence to be able to settle and pay the claims on time.
I think that clears a lot of misconception that we have in terms of people even willing to, go to insurance and say that, oh, I want to insure this or I want to insure that, because most of them even believe that when they fall into very big situations, the insurance companies will not be able to actually, handle that situation for them. So I think what you're saying clears a lot of that misconception out there.
Yes, in the past, the insurance companies, their minimum capital was increased from 15 million to 50 million. So all insurance companies have the liquidity, and we want to address that misperception about the insurance in Ghana. That insurance today is not what it used to be in the past, where we're selling insurance on credit and insurance companies don't have the funds to pay claims. Because in the past, the insurance company, they sell policies or will be able to collect just about 30% of the premiums or 40%. The majority of the premiums, like 60% or 70%, will be in debt. And once the insurance policy expires, there's no motivation to pay. So that denies insurance companies of the needed resources. Now that is not the case. Insurance companies are even paying claims and are even using it as a form of advertisement. Even in situations where technically an insurance company is not supposed to pay a claim, they waive a lot of the technicalities and who pay them pay. Sometimes the claim is not even covered. Now we pay what we call ex gratia, be able to enable the insured or the claimant to be able to come back to the situations they were before that.
Very well. Let me go to the president of GUTA and ask him if he's been able to speak to his people and in terms of insurance, what they're doing about it. Mr. Clement, if you can hear me, have we had this conversation with our members? Did they understand that it's important that they, ensure their companies or their businesses, so that in terms of situations like these, they'll be able to also get some assistance? Hello, Mr. Clement, are you there? Hello? Hello? Can you unmute for me, please? Mr. Clement, if you can hear me, please unmute for me. Okay, so if you just joined us here on the show, this is Money Making Monday, and we're looking at the aftermath of the flood, and we're putting attention to two major things: the Guta Association and how they are on their recovering road, and also the insurance companies who will be assisting many of those who have been affected to also stand on their feet again, because they'll be paying them some insurance, over some of the things, the businesses, and also their assets that they've been able to insure them. And so we're trying as much as possible to, connect that link. And so if you just join us here on the show, that's our conversation this morning on Money Making Monday. Mr. Clement Boateng is the president of Guta, and Mr. Ernest Frimpong is the MD of Bedrock Insurance as well. They both joining us here on the show. Mr. Clement, if you can hear me. Hello? Okay, I think we have difficulty with Mr. Clement's connection over there. But Ernest, let me find out.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I think I can hear you now. That's if you also can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. So Ernest has been able to, give us a clear understanding of what, it means for insurance to come into the aid of people who have gone through these situations. I don't know about your members. Have you had conversations with them in terms of insurance? Are they making some progress in making their claims from the insurance that they have done over the period?
Yes, I'm very glad that Mr. Ernest, the MD of Bedrock Insurance, is talking about insurance regarding this floods. That is an area insurance companies don't want to enter at all, because they think it's a high risk area. And so none of the insurance companies, want to come out with a policy regarding flood. But I am glad Guta, as an association, has already had some engagement with Enterprise Insurance. And they are designing a policy package, which had to do with floods for our members, so that in the event of any of this happening to our members, they will have something to be cushioned with. So we are in the progress of having something of that nature with Enterprise Insurance.
So but that's great. But individually, do you have these conversations with them in terms of their business, their personal assets, their containers? Well, some have buildings that they occupy and do their businesses from. Do they also, in the absence of flooding, is this something that they consider that they want to do? Some have done that. Okay. In terms of insuring their building, in terms of insuring their businesses, goods and items and all that.
A lot more, have done that with some of their personal insurance companies. Okay. But what I'm talking now has to do specifically with floods.
For specifically floods,
yes.
Which have become very perennial.
Yes,
and so, I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is what we are in talks with Enterprise Insurance to see if they can, design some policy specifically on floods for us. But as for the general insurance, that one, a lot of our members, have done that.
All right, Mr. Ernest Frimpong, is this something that we can look at? You're the chairman of the association. Can we design something specifically for that?
I'm the chairman of the committee, external committee. Yes. Yeah. So, you see, normally insurance want to deal with what we call particulars, or the uncertainty. You don't know whether the risk will happen or not, or even if it will happen, you don't know it will happen right now. You're not certain. That is insurance. if you are so certain that something is going to happen, then it ceases to be insurance. So what normally happens is that we have some flood-prone areas that has been known over the years that these places, when it rains, will flood. So those places are the ones that insurance companies will normally exclude. But even some insurance companies and some reinsurance companies are able to cover those risks, provided you are able to pay the premium that they would ask you to pay, because of the fact that they know that it's basically certain that the risk is going to crystallize. So once you can pay, they do. Otherwise, then they would have to exclude flood. Because if you look at the law, that is the Insurance Act, that's Act 1061, it provides that all commercial buildings, for example, or anywhere you have a commercial activity taking place, you need to have a commercial fire insurance, which will cover the risks of fire, storm, flood, earthquake, and then collapse. So it has been provided for. Normally, the insurance company will not exclude flood once the law provides that it should be covered. It is only the known areas that we know that every year it floods. But even that one, some places the insurance companies come in and then they provide what we call risk improvement measures. That when we come, we say that, okay, this place floods. But we believe that when you do A, B, C, and D, next time when it rains, it will not flood. Once you are able to bring or do those risk improvement measures, then the insurance company can be comfortable to insure the risk. Because we know that when it rains, the possibility that it will be flooded is very low because you've taken the necessary measures to avoid the risk the flood happening. So once it's done like that, we are able to insure, and then your premiums can go down, and then you'll be comfortable. Where you don't take those risk improvement measures, that's where the challenge may be. And for us as insurance, we say that everything is insurable once you can pay the premium and also abide by the conditions like we told you about the risk involved to put in place to make sure the insurance company will be comfortable. So when you come to us, we would come to your place and assess the situation, and wherever you are, we'll be able to cover the risk. If we are not able, we'll let you know. Or we'll tell you that A, B, and C, which will allow us to cover the risk. So that is the situation we have.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Ernest Frimpong, for joining us this morning here and giving us some understanding of what the insurance companies are also doing to ensure that they mitigate some of these situations and also even provide assistance for those who have, been affected. Mr. Ernest Frimpong is the MD of Bedrock Insurance. And also joining us this morning as well was Mr. Clement Boateng. He's the president of GUTA. And he's also spoken to us about what their members are doing. In fact, his only disappointment is that the monies that were supposed to have been given to the people have rather been, used to buy rice and oil and other things to be distributed. He thinks that they need the money more than those items that are, being distributed. Israel is here with me, and I'm sure Israel also agrees.
No, but for me, it reminds me, it just reminds, talking about insurance reminds me that I'm supposed to renew my motor insurance.
Oh.
That's money that has to go. So, yeah. But that's what the education on insurance needs to continue, because people need to come to appreciate that there's a reason why you need to insure either your property or your assets.
Yeah.
And it helps so that in times like these, when you have a flood, you can get some relief.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I only got to know that, these cars we take, to the workshops should have insurance at the workshop.
Apparently,
and when this incident happened, speaking to an insurance person, a friend of mine was like, I said, I didn't know that. He said, yes. Yeah. Once you take your car there, the person is supposed to ensure that the car is insured, because anything that happens over there, the insurance person may just decide, the company will just decide that they won't even do anything about it.
True.
The good ones, like Mr. Ernest said, will probably want to just help you, in a way. But really, it's out of their hands. And so it's important that we continue with that education.
Exactly. Anyway, so I just have one quick birthday dedication before we get to go. My 2IC at Influence Africa, she's the lassie at Dukonu, and I just want to wish her happy birthday. She's a very capable young lady. So enjoy your day and have a fabulous year ahead. So yeah, that's it for the show for today.
Yep.
Okay.
We're back tomorrow at 6 a.m. again here on Prime Morning. Please do well and be a part of our conversations. I see the Golden Girl will be back. I understand she's a bit under the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've given reasons for that. And the reason that Echo gave, I'm still investigating a few things about the reason.
You're probing.
Yes, I need to, because a boyfriend for a CEDUA, it's something all of us are worried about. You know. Yes. But her specs are always some way.
Okay.
The kind of specs a CEDUA wants.
Okay.
We may have to get closer to heaven to be able to bring such a person. So we'll leave it there. Anyway, thanks for joining us once again. We're back tomorrow. Have a beautiful day and enjoy the rest of your day.
Sure.